All right, welcome to Small Business Big Impact Podcast. This is our first episode for our podcast. I'm so excited to bring our first guest on today, Broderick Bland. I'm excited for that. Also want to introduce our co-hosts, John and Q. How you guys feeling today? How y'all feeling about our first episode? Let's go.
Hey man, I'm feeling good, feeling good. So it's the very first episode. We've been planning this for a while now. We've been strategizing, putting everything together, and everything is falling into place. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm happy to, months of work, meetings, going through everything, trying to format things. I'm super excited about the podcast and can't wait for us to hit running. Today's that day. So super happy to be working with you guys and happy to have our first guest on. Can't wait to speak to him and, learn more about him.
Yeah, it's been a long road, you guys, getting everything situated, having a lot of meetings, a lot of late nights trying to get everything prepared. I just want to ask you guys, how has everything been going with you guys? We're just keeping, everything situated, getting everything, started with the podcast. How's everything been going with you, John and Q? How's everything been going?
Everything's been, in my opinion, I think it's been kind of fine. Overall with, life in general, everything's been good. Work has been going good. I'm happy that we're slowly coming out of this whole pandemic thing. We're going to be in a roller coaster for the next year or so, but the bright side is we're starting to, get ourselves over that hump. And we're starting to kind of see the brighter side of things. So overall, I think positively we're doing a fantastic job, and I'm doing better because of it. So
that's awesome. Q, I would like to ask you, man, how's everything been going with you, especially going through this pandemic right now and getting this podcast started? How's everything been going with you?
Outside of the pandemic, it didn't really affect too much, right? Especially like when you went to like a different space, like when you're in a space of like making like Wi-Fi money, where you can make money from your cell phone or from your laptop and that sort of thing. And when you're a hustler, you really don't let things get in the way of that, right? But no, things been going well. Life has been busy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say hectic.
Busy is good.
Kinda,
Yeah,
busy is good. I wouldn't say hectic. It can just be super busy at times, and I'm okay with that. I like the hustle and bustle of life, and during the pandemic and everything that's going on, it'll definitely help you build a hustle about yourself. It'll make you more motivated. It'll make you more to the point to where like it's really something. It's like job security. So you really got to get out here and grind and push
Yeah,
through.
I definitely think the pandemic helped a lot of us out, helped teach us new things that we didn't know or encouraged us to do things we normally wouldn't do. So I
Sure.
completely agree with you on that, Q. I mean, honestly, the pandemic was one of the reasons why I was able to think of a podcast like this as well. So we wouldn't be here without that pandemic because I most likely would probably still be doing something in IT right now. So
That's true. That is true. That's true, man.
All right, guys, we're going to bring everyone together. We're going to bring on our guest, Broderick Bland. I'm so excited to bring him on our first episode today. He has a popsicle company, he has a construction company, and he's doing great things in Nashville, and I'm proud of him, and I hope he keeps staying focused and doing well in both business. Let's bring on our podcast, Broderick Bland.
Thank you guys for having me, Kyle, John, Q. I appreciate you letting me be the first guest on the podcast. That's a big honor. You guys are working on it, and so it's an honor to be here first. A little bit about myself. My name is Broderick Bland. I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a graduate of the University of Mississippi. I moved to Nashville about a couple years ago. I work in the construction industry. I'm a project manager by day for mechanical processes. But as of recently, I've started a business and I took on a couple partnerships and other businesses as well. Primarily, my first business is a construction company on my own, uh, gearing towards being licensed by the end of the year as a general contractor as that business. And I also bought into the partnership of King of Pops, which is a popsicle business. So we're local around Nashville, and they're based out of Atlanta. They've been in business over 10 years, and I was able to secure a partnership with them this year. So a
Congratulations.
little bit, well, yeah, thanks, man. It was a journey to get there, but happy to play popsicles this summer.
Oh, I mean, you're definitely in the market this year. I hope everything's going well this year with you. I mean, I would imagine it's booming since a lot more people is coming out from the pandemic on it.
Yeah, summer's kind of got it kind of slow in Nashville because of the rain. We had a rain in July, but overall, it's been pretty well. It's been pretty good. I think now time when school goes
Mhm.
back, so things are kind of actually picking up for us because of all the back to school events and people are being outside more because their kids are outside at football games and whatnot. So it's a good season. I mean, our season lasts about 8 months out of the year. So besides a few cold months, it's always going to be pretty fun to do.
That's great to hear, Broderick. I just want to ask, man, what made you want to get into, the popsicle business and then also having a construction business? I know those are great things that you have started and you're doing well in both businesses, but I just wanted to see why you started the popsicle business and the construction business. And I'll also love the name King of Pops as well.
Well, King of Pops is actually a licensed name. It's also a licensed company out of Atlanta. Um, so that's their trademark. That's their business. I'm actually a partner, so I own a territory in Nashville based off of their original scheme. So
Is that
kind of like I bought into a
yeah?
McDonald's,
So
and I
I
have a
was just about
McDonald's.
to ask. So is that kind of like a franchise thing that goes on?
It's a franchise thing, yeah.
Okay.
So, but there's me and one more franchisee. I can guess you can say in Nashville. We're covering as far as Smyrna to the Murfreesboro area, Franklin, Madison, and also downtown Nashville as well. So,
Yeah.
uh, and the construction thing is kind of like just one of those things you do when you're a kid. Your arm clock apart, or you're struggling with something that you shouldn't be messing with, or you broke something around the house and you're trying to put it back together. So try to learn how to be good with your hands.
Hmm.
It's a skill. Once you have a skill, you can always keep a skill.
That's true.
Um,
That's
yeah, so that's one of those things that got me into construction. Seeing the processes from ground up really kind of helped me envision building things.
Hmm.
So um, that's where I took it from there. I mean, I've worked with a lot of contractors across the South. I mean, I've probably done over 150 construction
Wow.
projects uh,
wow.
in my time. So now I'm just looking to venture out on my own and kind of set my own pace.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So, with that being said, like, so with both of these, companies that you have working with, one your franchise and the other one that you kind of built from the ground up. Out of both of those jobs, which one do you think was the hardest to start up?
Definitely the construction. It's one of those things that's going to keep you up at night. You're dealing with people's livelihood, dealing with a lot of you know moving pieces and moving parts that require like a great attention to detail. So
Hmm.
those things are very, very meticulous. The popsicles, it wasn't as hard to start, but I would say the first month or so, getting adjusted to being outside and keeping popsicles cold and knowing how to pack the car, not packing too heavy when you're just by yourself. Those are the fun lessons that you learn. You want to learn fun lessons. You don't want to learn tough lessons in business. So,
So I hope you're not like, this is going to sound a little kind of funny, but I hope you're not like outside on your first day with a white van in the background, you
no,
like handing
no,
popsicles out.
Now you can't really drive vans around Nashville and not look too. But no. So yeah, that's pretty much like this. The difference is, I guess, with the both of the two would be one's a treat and one's something that you're building.
Yeah, yeah. So with that being said, how did you fund both of those jobs? Because some people, they save up and invest their money. Other people go out and grab loans, or it could be a mixture of both. So how did, like, with both of your situations, how did you do that?
Really, for my own businesses, I pretty much either used my own personal day to day revenue,
Hmm.
my earnings. Um, I'm able to save enough, and I'm able to put money away and to invest, so I can do those other things. But
Yeah.
the last year or so is a lot of stock market investment.
Hmm.
They gave me extra viable capital to just not be able to have to think about the money I'm spending.
Hmm.
When it's on your own money, you're a little bit more cautious and you're a little bit more tight. But if you earn some, you've made some in the stock market with a few options, then you're like,
Yeah.
kind of risk this money. I've already risked it anyway to get this. So
Yeah.
throw this in the business and just every time I make money in the business, I try to put it back. I don't try to take anything from myself. I
Hmm.
put it back in the business so it grows by itself. You know.
Yeah, I think that's what makes a business very successful is, a lot of people that don't succeed that much, I think, they take the money out from the business, that came from the business, but not reinvest that money back in. And I think in order for your business to keep growing, you really got to reinvest that money back in to allow it to grow to make more and more
Right.
money.
Exactly.
So,
It costs money to make it costs money to make a true statement.
yeah, yeah,
Definitely.
definitely. I've heard that saying many times, and I'm
Yeah.
starting to get to the point
Right.
where
It take
it's,
money to
yeah,
make money.
it's
It's
true.
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with paying yourself, but pay yourself based off of what
Hmm.
you can't go in there and say you're going to make $100,000 in your business and your business only makes $100,000. You're not running a
Yeah.
business at that point. You're just yourself. You know,
Yeah.
so if you can identify between the two, and there's nothing wrong with "Hey, I've earned this money doing this amount of work with my business. There's nothing wrong with taking an owner's cut and saying, hey, this is what I've earned. But
Hmm.
don't exaggerate that point where you're doing it not in the beginning. You can't do that in the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a question from Mr. Bland. So so what is your like overall like goal and intent, with your business, with both of your business you got going on? But what made you want to get involved in these type of business?
I think for me, it's just the passion of having your own. You want to leave something behind. You don't want, especially for us, like we don't. A lot of times we don't leave of anything behind, and it's
Okay.
rough. That's one of the things. I had a conversation with a friend. I said
I definitely
sometimes we don't promote
agree.
the people in our community enough, the ones that can succeed and the ones that can return the favor. We kind of
Hmm.
look down. We kind of look at those people that have it all together. Well, it's maybe not they don't have it all together. Maybe they ordain the community. You know, so oftentimes I feel like if I can achieve something, and I know I can, and I can obtain
Mhm.
it for people that are like me, I can spread the wealth because it looks different for
Yeah.
me coming to you as like, hey, I have this, let's work together, as opposed to it's all for me. I don't want
Hmm.
to be selfish and greedy. So my
Yeah.
business is to bring people along, along the way with me. And I just had a keen sense for business. My parents were business owners. My dad's a business owner, so you know that's just kind of the lifestyle I grew up in, and it's fun. It's fun. You get to meet a lot of people. You get to experience a lot of different things. And I think my main goal is just overall happiness for my family and
Hmm.
people to come around me as well.
And you know what? Like me and Kyle and John, we talk about that, right? We talk about building an empire or like leaving a legacy behind, like when it comes to things that you own,
Hmm.
when it comes to business, when it comes to land, when it comes to property and that sort of thing. But you always want to leave something behind for the people that's coming after you. So we look at things in life as like it's not about what we want now. It's more about
Right.
being unselfish and thinking about, building generational wealth, something that we can pass down, for generations at a time, and they can keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's the type of way, that's the type of way that we're on. And like for you to say that, like, that's the same type of
Yeah.
thing that we're on. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
sure.
I agree.
Yes. I mean, like what Q said, basically, we all have, everybody's going to have their own personal challenges, their own personal goals, and things like that. And I think that's just how people run their businesses and how they do their day to day life. So, completely agree with you. And definitely think that you put a lot of thought into that, and definitely think that you knew what way you wanted to go and how you wanted to do
Yeah.
it. So, big props to you about
Yeah.
that. So I got another question for you on that one then. So, after, working with the Kings of Pop, how long have you been doing that
King of
franchise for?
Pops is a new franchise. Probably I started in April. Um,
Mm.
March, February were kind of like the interviews and qualifications and all that time and the waiting period. I went, my first event was probably April 19th. I think I got all the
Ah,
prize.
that's actually my
Oh,
birthday.
Oh, wow. That's
I
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
had no
That's
idea what I
crazy.
was doing, but I had a pay next Saturday, so get ready.
you, that's my biggest fear actually when I start a company is like I know what I want to do, but like once you get into it, you're kind of like, crap, what do I do?
Did we ever guess ourselves like we know what we want to do, and then we get to the point and we're like, what do we do? But if we like just relax and like
Yeah.
moment, like this is what we've been preparing for your whole entire life. Your entire thought process has been
Hmm.
preparing you for it. So when we get there, we freeze like, oh, this is it.
Yeah, you're like starstruck. You're kind of like in the moment. You're like,
Yeah.
big eyes.
You're playing Michael Jordan. It's here now.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine how Kobe felt his first day playing against Michael
Dad,
Jordan? I
like you're
mean, I'm sure he was like starstruck on the inside, but he was like, I got to keep it cool on the outside. He's like, gotta let him know I'm not here to be a fan.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
uh, so I mean, and you've been doing construction, you said, for quite a while as
Yeah.
well. So, with that being said, with where you are now with both of your companies, what do you wish you would have known going back? So if you were starting up a new company, what challenges or what would you know now that you didn't know that you would
Man,
implement?
I would have started earlier.
It's like
Nah, I
first
feel
rule, start earlier.
that. I feel that,
I don't know. Like
man.
if y'all would have known what to do, like if I would have known not to be scared to do what I thought I could do early
Hmm.
and have the
Mhm.
confidence to do it, I think that now, because man, they gave out all them PPP loans. I was trying to get,
Yeah.
I,
Man.
but no, serious. But if I would have started earlier, I feel like I would have had time to grow into where I am now. Not saying I didn't
Yeah.
plan going forward. It's just that maybe my plan could have been executed a little earlier. I think the
Hmm.
whole concept is for us as business owners, as people that want to have a certain wealth, is we're trying to buy time. In the midst of things, we're trying to buy time to spend with our families and those.
Yeah.
So, it's just it's a weird world we live in, man. You can
Yeah.
become rich overnight, or it takes the long process. It doesn't. It's a stroke of luck, But when your
Yeah.
opportunity stuff, you just got to be ready. I think that's the most important.
Yeah. And I mean, so with that being said, also for people listening, is there any other tips that you would advise them doing if they wanted to start up their own business or start, investing into
Do
something?
not procrastinate. Do it while your heart is set on
That's
it.
fine.
Because if your mind gets away, you're not gonna do it. And I'll see.
I,
That makes
yeah,
sense.
I've done that many a
That
times. I
definitely
mean,
makes
there, like I
sense.
said,
For sure.
I come up with a
That
lot of
make a lot of
things, but I
sense, man.
never act on
Procrastinating.
it. I always second guess myself. I'm like, well, what happens if this doesn't work? I don't really try to dive in and just go for it. So that makes a
Yeah,
lot of
I always
sense.
said, like when I was in college,
Mhm.
like you're sitting with your classmates, in your class, and you think about now, like they're just your classmates, but those are the people that are applying for the same jobs you're applying for. You know, those are the people that are working in the same world you're working in, and they're looking at you as competition in the same
Yeah.
way. And if they're not procrastinating, you can't procrastinate either.
Yeah.
You can't be
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it. Yeah.
I mean, exactly. I mean, people that procrastinate, it's like the big mouths get fed. So the people that want it more, they're going to go
Right.
after it, and the smaller mouths aren't going to get it.
I
So
mean, because life is a competition, right? No matter what level you at, if you're a business owner, if you work in a regular job for a company, a
hmm
corporation, it's all competition. It's like, what can I do to get the upper hand on the next person? What? And if you're a business owner, it's like, what new um, fashion, what new idea can I come
hmm
out with that the other person's not doing? So
Yep.
everything in life is a competition. And I think as people, we really got to sit down and just let that marinate and
hmm
really think about that.
There can be
Yeah.
too as well. I believe. No, I believe that, and there can be healthy competition as well. And I think
Yeah,
we have
No,
to
it
learn
can, it can.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
competition and healthy competition too. We're not in it to take anybody out.
hmm
We all want the same thing. Now, how can we achieve it together?
Yeah, and
Mm.
I think a good example of a healthy competition was a lot of people don't know this, but Bill Gates and Steve Jobs were good
Right.
friends. And a lot of people would fight, say, oh, they're going to fight against each other. I mean, yeah, they're companies and they're going to have to do what they need to do to grow and stuff like that. But it's not like a bitter rivalness. They were really close on a friendship level. I'm pretty sure that they knew a lot of stuff behind the scenes as well that helped encourage them to do other things. But I mean, those are healthy, competitions right there. I mean, yeah, from the face of people outside, they may not know about that, but I'm sure on the inside, everybody was like, yeah, that's, I mean, Bill Gates was with Steve Jobs on his last few days, in the hospital and things like that. So that lets you know that he really respected that man and they had a good friendship. And that's how life should be, and all. We should be encouraging people and uplifting people because we're all trying to achieve the same goals. Yeah, we may be competing with one another, but we shouldn't need to bring other people down because of it.
All of you guys are right. It shouldn't be a competition with each other. We should all help and encourage one another. And I just believe in a way that in the African American community, I believe sometimes where we feel like we can't do better than the other person, or it's like a hate thing, like I'm hating on you, but it shouldn't be like that. you know I feel like if we all work together, we can do a lot more in our community, and we see other races that work together, and that's how you build and you grow. And I think that we should definitely have that, in the African American community, where we can start businesses together, or we can do business to business where one business can help the other. And I also like to say, Broderick, what type of events do you have coming up that you want to tell our listeners? I know you're doing some big things in Nashville right now with the popsicle business and construction business, but just tell us some upcoming events that you have that you'd like to share.
King of Pops. We're actually at Amqui Station on Madison in Madison
Yeah.
Sunday from 11 to 2 at their farmers market. Sorry, Sunday.
Yeah.
This Sunday also will be at Hadley Park from 12 to 7. Doing a back to school event.
Mm.
Uh, we'll be doing Bonnaroo coming up in September. It's going to be
Hey.
Mm. Hey, that's
Yeah, that's
huge.
good.
That's gonna be
and
huge. Wow. Y'all vendors for Bonnaroo. That's
and then
that's
we have a
that's major.
couple Vanderbilt events coming up for King of Pops. We'll be trying to be on Broadway here shortly soon, at least Thursday through Sundays. Downtown, we'll have a location, maybe one or two locations set up downtown, maybe within the next couple of weeks. So big things coming from King of Pops. On the construction side, nothing really major going on right now. Kind of dialed down because of the other business really kind of taking control
hmm
right now. So focusing my attention to King of Pops while the season's still going. And then first of the year, construction, and the year probably will start rolling around some new ideas and new things to start getting into.
Yeah, Broderick, I just want to say, man, you're doing, great with your businesses. I think that you're, impacting people, and they will love the popsicle business that you started. Also with the construction, you're doing really good. And I want you to keep up the good work. Keep building relationships with people in Nashville. I know you're not from the city of Nashville, but just keep building those relationships. Keep growing your business. And I think you're going to do well in the future, my brother. But to wrap up the episode for today, give the listeners, your IG profile and your Facebook profile so they can find you, and they can check out your businesses as well, and they can support you, my brother.
Yeah, we're on. I guess we're on Instagram for construction Bland Builders. That's the name on Instagram. King of Pops is KOP_Nashville. That's the King of Pops Instagram. We'll show where we're at, what locations we're at, and come and check us out.
Perfect. Yeah, and we'll have all
Cool,
your
man.
social media and website links in the description as well for anybody that wants to go check them out. So highly recommended.
Oh no, man, look, man, that's for Broderick. Continue to grow, continue to build your brands, man. Continue to get the exposure that you need, the marketing, promotion, everything. Just continue to push your line. You know what I'm saying? Just continue to grow as a small business. Um, and don't let anything discourage you. Don't let anything get you down. Being a business owner is not
Yep.
it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the hardest things in the world being an entrepreneur. But like I said, just continue to push on the daily, and you'll get to
Appreciate
where
it.
you need to be. So, like we here supporting, man.
Thanks.
So
I don't have any better words to say than that. He taught me on that one. What I will say though is I checked out the website and saw some of those popsicles. I'm not gonna lie, they look
They
really
are.
good.
Yep.
So I'm definitely gonna have to slide through and
man, we got to
yeah, I
slide
was
through and get
just
some of
about to
those
say,
from
I
you,
was like, they
man.
look
I'll get
good.
this man. Perfect.
Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna slide to Hadley Park tomorrow. I'm gonna
It's
slide over
at
there.
This
Amquay.
perfect
I'm gonna pull
idea.
up
So the
tomorrow.
next
So
guest that comes on, right? I'm gonna give Kyle a box of popsicles. Those popsicles.
okay.
Hey, I'll take it. I mean, yeah, they look good, but yeah, I mean, hopefully, everything goes well. You continue to do what you do, you grow, and Nashville's booming as well. So I wouldn't doubt putting your both your businesses booming. Construction, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be booming. And then the King of Pop, we got more and more people coming here every day. We got more and more community events going. So I definitely think you're gonna succeed and keep growing, man. So just keep up the hard work and I'm going to support you, man. Once I'm gonna go on that website, find where you're at. I live all the way in Clarksville, so I'm not in Nashville, but definitely I would drive an hour because those popsicles look really delicious.
Well, Broderick, I just want to appreciate you coming on our first episode with Small Business Big Impact. I just want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, man. You're doing some great things in Nashville with your businesses. And to the listeners, thank you for listening today. We were so excited to start our podcast, and you'll be seeing more of us as well. I also want to thank John and Q, to the co-hosts. You guys, I really appreciate both of you. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And also follow us on our social media sites as well, with Small Business and Big Impact on Facebook and Instagram. Hope you guys have a great day.